What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and we're bringing you another audio gameplay commentary thingamabob here on Resistance with the M16. This is just a standard M16 affair. Not really nothing special, not really a big standout score, just one of those big scores that you get from time to time when you're playing them on domination. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about cyberbullying. Let's not talk about the kids aspect of it, but what kids do with cyberbullying as a whole. This is probably a multi-tiered topic, so I'm gonna cover a few branches of this at one time. And let's just go and start with one of the things that you probably have done yourself in a form of cyberbullying. How many times have you did what you call a cyber bait? A cyber bait is basically when you try to get your teacher to break in class and video record it for YouTube. Seems like a good idea. It actually seems like one of those ideas that I might come up with. But for the most part, this is something that teachers are going through all across America. You can go on YouTube right now, put teacher flip out, and you'll see teacher flip out videos. I'm going to go and give you time to do that right now. Alright, you guys back? You watch some teacher flip out videos? What kids are doing is basically doing what I used to do as a kid. You know, every now and then, well, I didn't really do it myself, but you had classmates that would do it. They had no interest in being in that setting at all, but so they used their time to annoy the teacher or make the teacher cry. I remember when I was in, I think, 4th grade, we had a teacher named Miss Watson. And she was a young teacher. She was 21, 22, just getting her career started. And she had a nervous breakdown in the class. I mean, she just slammed her book on the floor and ran outside and started crying. And now, if she did that today, she would be on YouTube. Because there's so many cell phones and things into classrooms that, you know, people are going to find it funny. They're going to try to share it. And their whole reason for sharing is, you shouldn't have done it. But and I think a lot of that cause and effect is from people just not having the experience themselves. They don't understand what shame like that feels like. They don't understand. They have no valid reasoning in their body. So they think, you know, that was her problem for bursting out. But you got to understand, she has to deal with, 30 kids, probably 120 kids out throughout the day. It's probably 4 periods. And I heard classrooms have grown, but when I was going to school, we had anywhere from 28 to 30 kids a classroom. So, it could even be more. It could be like 150 kids doing it to her a day. And you eventually get to the point where you crack when you got to do this stuff for 9 weeks. And, it takes a really strong psyche to be a teacher nowadays. And the fact is, teachers still don't get paid what they probably should get paid. This gives you a lot of really uninterested teachers. Once a teacher hits to the point where she's uninterested, now you're going against the school system. And the school system right now is very, very poor. I mean, have you ever seen the rates at the school system? Like, I was looking at something one time, and they said, like, the learning curve in South Carolina was like 24% of all students that go to a South Carolina school can read fluently. 24%. And, you might think of, wow, Wings, South Carolina school district, it's going to be slow. You Southern guys are dumb. Derpa, derpa, derpa. Well, the lowest was I think was either Washington, D.C. or New York at 12%. I mean, the northern states generally had a higher reading level, but it wasn't by much. It's usually like 26 or 28%. And it's still incredibly low out of 100. This is out of 100% too. But a lot of that breeds just uninterested students, and the reason they're uninterested is either things going on at home, or just the teachers themselves are teaching stuff in the most boring and inane ways that you can actually teach. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic. But cyberbaiting could be one of the processes that kickfire this teachers losing interest in their students even more. Because why do you want to teach somebody you don't like? Because teachers themselves, they're human beings just as much as you and me. They just choose to help people. I mean, they're one of the better human beings in society because they want to mold people. They want people to have a successful life. But they hold grudges just like you hold grudges. If your buddy Dylan comes by and he wants to bust your new iPad or your new Samsung Galaxy, you're gonna be pretty mad at Dylan. And the same thing goes to the teacher. Why would you want to help somebody that treats you like shit, but then turn around that it's your job to be there and try to help him? I mean, you're not going to give the best effort forward, and you're going to end up affecting people that want to go there, that want to learn, that want to have, a GPA of, work, and want to get that Fortune 500 job, but that's just one aspect. The cyberbaiting of teachers effect. Like, I think that should probably stop, to be perfectly honest. I understand that it's probably funny, but you gotta go and release it. It's irresponsible, especially if you're one of the kids out here that start this kind of stuff. It's irresponsible because not only are you hurting yourself, and depriving yourself of education, you're depriving other people of education. I find this side of cyberbullying more grievous than the side I'm about to talk about here in a minute, which might probably get me some heat. Alright. There's been big news stories. You have Phoebe Prince, you have Megan Meyer, you have the blonde girl throwing herself in front of the bus. I don't know her name offhand. I wouldn't look for the story, but I couldn't find it. But, there's probably been 3 or 4 big publicized suicides from cyberbullying. These are the same people that you see of people, teacher bait or whatever. They get joys, they get their kicks out of hitting up on people that are more susceptible to it. A girl that doesn't think she's really pretty, really likes a boy, and feels like she's, privileged to have a pretty, a good-looking guy wanting to go out with her, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's just some girl's mom making fun of her. Self-esteem's a bitch nowadays, especially with all these pills and drugs and stuff that they put into these kids. Like, when I was going to school, you didn't have kids on Paxil. You didn't have kids on Adderall. You didn't have kids on this. You had kids that got an ass cutting every now and then. And even, it's kind of funny that I'm talking about this, and, one of the kids that that pretty much I'm help raising is probably going to need Adderall. But that's just a side effect of the times. I think that's mainly done with the attention span that we're required to have nowadays. That's another story. Well, I was on Twitter yesterday, and one of my fellow tweeting colleagues wanted to tweet out that a story of a girl getting hit by a bus, and to go along the caps of the story that he sent out, he said this guy should get 5 to 10 years. And I'm going to talk specifically onto the point of prison time versus cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a horrible thing. Don't get me wrong. It is one of the meanest, nastiest, and most notorious things that are out there right now that goes unpunished. And there should be a punishment for cyberbullying. Do I think that you should give somebody murder in the first degree if somebody cyberbullies somebody to the point where they kill themselves? No. Reason being is, for a person to do a 10-year stint, it's going to cost us, the taxpayers, $132,000. And that should be reserved for somebody that does a serious, grievous crime. Somebody that's, making fun of somebody because they enjoy it obviously needs counseling. They obviously need some sort of punishment. They do not need to serve jail time because they're by no means a citizen that needs to be rehabilitated in that extreme case. Prison should be reserved for extreme cases. It should be reserved for murder. It should be reserved for repeat offenders, drug dealers, things like this. It shouldn't be reserved for an 18-year-old kid that thought it was funny to pretend to be, like a boyfriend to some girl. Because at the end of the day, they really didn't kill nobody. They instigated someone's death, but at the same time, they didn't kill them. So I'm looking at it like this way. If I go, hey, Jake, you're ugly. And Jake goes, And Jake goes, I can't live with life no more, dog. I can't do it. Wing said I was ugly. He said I was ugly on the channel. I'm gonna end it. And then Jake goes and jumps out the damn window. Guess what happens? Jake dies. Now, am I responsible for Jake being dead because I called him a name? No. Jake chose to take his own life. And Jake chose to take the coward's way out. So Jake pretty much deserves to have all the repercussions. Should I be evaluated by a counselor? Should I be investigated? Should I have the fear of God put into me? Most likely. Do I deserve 5 to 10 years for killing Jake? I don't think so. What do you guys think? What is your opinion? I'm looking forward to hearing it. Please leave an opinion in the comment. If you like this video, please leave a rating. As always, it's been your boy Wings of Redemption, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.